Rebecca, you love to talk about our partner in the government with these things, which is why there is an allusion to the lump sum that we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, as a tax lawyer, I do understand and love this topic. And I'll just touch on what both Mark and Brad have said. Mark basically said it's not about how much you have, it's about how much you're spending. And therefore, what we need first is to understand what your cash flow needs are. And then we can determine where and how much do we have to have. But we will only do that through a tax lens, understanding that Uncle Sam is your silent partner in that pre-tax qualified account, which most Americans have traditionally saved in the 401k or the IRA since the 1980s when we made that shift to defined contribution versus defined benefit pension. And so really and truly, the number one thing that we are shocked every single day, and it should stop shocking us, but people do not know how much they spend, Brad. They come in and we say, what do you need? How much are you spending now? Do you know how many people do not and cannot tell me how much they actually spend on an annual basis?
Right.
We have to send them a budgeting tool so they can actually, and then they say, oh my gosh, I have this subscription, that subscription, this subscription, I forgot all about these.
Which leads us to I don't have a plan kind of thing, right?
As a tax lawyer who runs a wealth management practice, which is kind of unique in the country, there's not that many of us, we are always talking about strategic tax planning and what can we do now to buy the IRS out on the cheapest cents on the dollar. And let me tell you something, when these people go back to start bringing their funds over to switch to us, do you know, and I hate to say this, but do you know that Wall Street has a concerted effort to not have people tax strategize and tax advantage their accounts because that will take money away from what they're managing in the market, and they get paid on what they're managing in the market. So they don't want you to fix your tax problem.
Well, okay.
Isn't this the most advantageous time for people to be using so many things?
Well, I got to say that as we know, we are approaching the full retirement of the baby boomers. We have literally 99% of them retired by 2028. We already know what will happen once the boomers fully move on to Social Security and Medicare. So this is the last remaining years where we do potentially have a really low tax base where we can get those dollars out for the cheapest cents on the dollar.